Hello, welcome back to my YouTube. My name is Chandler. I'm so excited that you're here. We are going to get a little deep today. I know that you can handle it, and I know that these conversations are the conversations that they go somewhere in your body, whether that is your heart or your mind or somewhere in the ether, and they change your outlook on why you do what you do or the way that you do things, the way that you conceptualize results or experiences. And so I want to have this conversation today because I think it's really important to have so that you kind of understand how to get a little more present, a little more awake to what's actually happening right now. So if you're a female founder, whether you are a coach, you are a mentor, a thought leader, you are using social media as your means of marketing and you want to expose more of yourself so that you can build your brand, you can build your business. If that's you and you've been trying to get more visible on social media in your content and it feels like you're trying to move a mountain, it feels like something keeps getting in your way and you don't know what that something is, then you're in the right place because we're going to talk about that today. You are going to unlock more visibility than you've ever had before when you realize that the thing that unlocks visibility itself is not the content strategy. Hold on. I'm very much a strategist. I love strategy. I'm very science-brained. I love a good blueprint. I love a good playbook. I love a good step-by-step. I will run through brick walls if you tell me what to do. But before we can even allow the strategy to work when it comes to content and visibility, I want to walk you through what visibility on social media, your presence on social media, what it actually represents for you. Because chances are right now you do have some sort of visibility, whether you have 10 people in your following or 10,000 or 100,000. And I want to talk about something that doesn't oftentimes get talked about, especially in this, call it an industry if you want to, which is what happens to you the moment that you are about to get seen, the moment that you're about to become very well known. Sometimes you don't even know that that's on the brink. Sometimes you don't even know that that's the breakthrough that's about to happen for you because something else takes place entirely. And I want to talk about that today. In this little episode or in this show today, I still don't know what to call these little episodes or YouTube videos. We're going to have a real truthful conversation around what visibility actually is and where you are blocking yourself from becoming more and more visible. At the end, I'm going to have a little exercise for you that you're not going to want to miss. So let's do this. What I want you to take away from this entire video that I'm sitting down right now and recording. Also, this is my mom's shirt. My mom is so stylish. I just love wearing her clothes. Shout out to you, Mom. I want you to understand that visibility, like almost every other result in the world, visibility is a mirror. So when I say every other result, I mean marriage is a mirror, weight loss is a mirror, money is a mirror. And when I say mirror, I mean it's like the thing that is sitting in front of you that allows you to see yourself a little bit more clearly, allows you to kind of understand what's actually taking place. Because we as ambitious women, we get so caught up in the do. We get so caught up in the hustle. There's nothing wrong with that. I love working. No one's going to tell me that that's wrong. I love taking action because I like what I'm taking action on. However, because of that, sometimes I think I miss what's actually taking place underneath all of that. So when we hold up a mirror, when we see things as a mirror, and we take time to see the reflection, we can learn a lot from that. And again, this mirror is not really about your content itself. It's not about the strategy. It's not about how consistent you are. It's not about how many times per week you're posting or the hook that you used or whatever. I'm talking about this relationship that you have with becoming known and then with being known. Becoming known is one thing, and then holding this being known, that's level 2. So let me get a little bit deeper. Here's what I mean. Every time that a new client comes to me and I'm working closely with a very brilliant woman, she's really good at her craft. She's obsessed with what she does. She just wants to help more people and she wants to get paid for doing that. She wants to get paid for changing the world. And when I ask her about her brand and I ask the question, like, what do you want? The answer is always very simple. It sounds something like, I want more people to know who I am. I want my content to do the heavy lifting for me. I want to not have to sell so hard and launch all the time. I want people to just come into my world because they see my content for what it is. And I've just become this go-to in my space. I've become the one. I want people coming to me rather than it feeling like I have to chase people to come to me. And most women can describe that with like full certainty and full clarity. That's what they want. Then we start working together and this really interesting thing happens, and it happens almost to every single woman that I've worked with, regardless of her status, regardless of how much money she's making or how much visibility she currently has. And I've worked with everyone on the spectrum, and this is the same across the board. She will create a post that finds a little bit of success. And when I say success, I mean engagement, more comments, more likes, more followers, and she immediately goes offline. And I'm not talking about like literally goes offline. I mean, she immediately has no idea how to replicate what she just did. So what typically happens is she'll go to create another post and all of a sudden her focus has shifted a little bit. She's really paying attention to what she's saying. She's redoing it 1,000 times. It's like the first time wasn't good enough, so she has to do it 5 more times, and she's editing differently. And what happens is the next piece of content does not sound like her at all. Like, she has completely exited the content totally. She's not there. And because this next post doesn't perform the way that the prior post performed, she has this sudden urge to lean more into it's my content strategy. Something's off about my content strategy. What do I need to tweak? What do I need to fix? Can you audit this? Can you tell me what you think? And I'm just here to tell you, it is not a content strategy problem at all. I wish it was. It'd be way easier if it was. It is a baseline type problem. And I mean baseline from within. Like, there's a set point that is it's non-existent. Visibility on social media will always be your mirror to reflect back to you your relationship with getting attention. And getting attention includes more people watching you and then having opinions about you. And along with that, you also have this deeper, bigger responsibility to deliver for people if all eyes are on you. And then to add to that, you feel this like secret pressure that now that people are watching me, I need to show up every single day. I need to be consistent at all costs. And I've created this perceived view of who I am, and I need to hold up to that, even if I'm not holding up to that behind the scenes. More people are watching what you do next when you have visibility. And also, when you have visibility, it creates more opportunity for people to decide that they don't like you. So when I say all of that, my next question for you, which I realize that you can't respond, maybe you could put it in the comments if you want to, is what is your relationship to all of that I just said? I'm telling you what, you can have the perfect content strategy. It does exist. You can have the perfect hooks. You can be consistent more than anybody else is consistent. But if the internal state that you have when you approach visibility treats visibility as if it's a threat to you, as if it's potentially going to harm you or hurt you, there will be part of your energy that finds a way to dismiss it entirely, to not even approach it, to not accept that visibility should be part of the journey for you. Okay, let me also say this. This has nothing to do with your mindset. So if you're questioning your mentality around this, like, how do I think my way out of this? You're not going to be able to do that. This is not like a switch that goes off in your mind and all of a sudden you don't feel blocked towards visibility anymore. It doesn't work that way. It also has nothing to do with like conviction or confidence. I talk a lot about conviction. This is not a conviction problem. This is your ability to reflect and metacognitively think about, what does visibility feel like for you? Is it safe? You have a current threshold for how much visibility you can handle and still feel okay about it without losing control entirely. And most highly ambitious, high achieving women, they're not going to push past that feeling. They're going to hustle their way around it. Like I said, what's the new content strategy? So the way that that's going to appear in your life is you're going to start posting more. So if maybe you post 5 days a week, then you'll start to post 7 days a week. You'll start to record yourself on the weekends, or you'll start to think to yourself, like, I need YouTube videos. I need to create a podcast. You do more. And you do this because you want to stay in motion, because staying in motion and being productive to you feels like you're doing the right thing. You feel like you're on the right track. And it's your way of just grasping control. And when you have control over something, you feel a little bit more safe. There's safety involved. And eventually you'll continue to hustle, do more. And then you'll come to me and you'll question, like, I'm doing everything right. Can you just tell me what's going wrong? No one is seeing me. I'm not getting the visibility that I expect that I should have by now because of all that I'm doing. Or on the flip side, the women who actually do get visibility from all of this output, they'll come to me and they'll say something like, okay, I have all of this visibility and I actually feel less seen than ever. I feel more alone than ever. I feel like people do not see me for what I actually am, even though this is all that I've ever wanted, was this large audience. I've just wanted people to see my content and fall in love with it. And now that I have that, it feels empty. So this is the mirror that I'm talking about. It's extreme insight as to what's actually taking place. So let's talk about the one sign, the one thing that you can feel internally to allow yourself to understand, using this mirror, that you need to focus on your relationship with visibility. And that is like your body is physically going to tense up almost every single day. And you're going to wake up and you're going to feel like, I need to get to it. You have this sense of urgency where you're like, I need to create more. I don't want to lose this. I don't want it to slip. Like, I'm on a roll. I have momentum. I have so many ideas and I just feel so behind, even though I'm having momentum and I feel good about this and blah, 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 blah. It feels chaotic, even though the results are kind of good. And you try to trick yourself into believing that you are just driven. You are ambitious. You're doing what you're supposed to be doing. If you're going to become one of the greats, then you need to do the most. And that's where I would tell you to chill out, because you're starting to turn into even more of a control freak. And what's actually happening is like you're dipping into what is called survival mode, and it's going to impact your content. Your content is an extension of everything that's going on with you, and that cannot be faked. It cannot be forced. If you are chaotic in real life, there's going to be something off about your content. Even if it appears to not match up completely with chaotic, there's going to be something off about it. And then what happens is people in your audience start to feel that something is off with her content. They don't know how to pinpoint it. They don't know how to place their finger on it, but they can feel like something isn't right here. Some other things to pay attention to when it comes to strengthening your relationship with visibility is your need to feel like you have to react to every single person in your comment section, or react to what's going on in your so-called industry. Like you have to take place in discussing what's happening. Like you feel the need to participate in certain conversations that actually do not benefit you or the person you're trying to serve. But you feel on the surface like, I need to partake in this, and what's actually happening underneath is like you are craving to stay relevant. And so you're searching to grab anything that could allow for that relevancy. And you try to defend yourself to people who you could actually never defend yourself to. You could never change their mind about you, but you're putting your energy there because you are so afraid to become irrelevant. I could keep going with all the signs, but really all this is your ability to lock in and get very honest with yourself about what's taking place inside of you. And it's all information, it's all feedback, and it's all pointing to the same thing. I gave this analogy the other day in one of my TikTok posts where I talked about how gaining visibility on social media is not an overnight thing. And anyone who tries to tell you that it's an overnight thing, you need to run from them. Gaining visibility on social media is the craziest internal game. And so the analogy is, imagine if you lose 100 pounds in the next 5 days. You will experience losing 100 pounds, but you will have no idea how to maintain keeping that 100 pounds off. You will have no idea how to hold it because you did not learn the skill sets. You didn't have the tools necessary along the way because it happened overnight. Beyond the tools, beyond the skill sets, you didn't become the version of you that can continue to hold the 100 pounds off. It is the exact same with social media. If you gained all the visibility that you wanted to, even in the next month, let's say, you have not calibrated yourself into becoming the type of woman that can hold that visibility and sustain it over time. And we don't want to be a one-hit wonder. We're here to change the world, which means we need to be consistently seen for our brilliance, for our genius. In every new level, you have to calibrate to that new level. So it'll start with 10,000 followers, and you'll learn how to hold and show up for 10,000 people. And then it'll continue to climb. But every single climb, you have adapted, you have evolved. And if you don't pay attention to that evolution, that is when you will burn out and you will feel chaotic. So you think that the goal is to get more visibility, but in fact, it is not the goal. Gaining visibility is something you have absolutely no control over. So if we're talking about what the actual goal is, the actual goal is, as cliche as it sounds, ask yourself, who do I need to become to gain the visibility that I desire? What does it look like? What is she thinking? What is she feeling? What is she doing? And if you haven't expanded that capacity to be seen, if you haven't accepted and understood the weight that it feels to have all eyes on you, if you haven't understood the discomfort of what it feels like to be known by people that you will never meet, experiencing the pressure of becoming someone people watch and follow and trust, okay? So then every time your visibility increases, your body is going to freak the F out. This is why some women experience visibility once or twice or maybe even 5 times and they have no idea how to repeat it. Or they feel terrified once they have it. It's not that they don't want it. It's not that they don't want to keep it. It's that they haven't built themselves into the version that knows how to hold it yet. When we talk about visibility, I think this is such a fascinating topic because most women think that visibility is going to finally provide this feeling of I'm so confident in what I do. People finally see my worth, which makes me feel worthy. The money is going to start coming in. I'm going to feel like I'm a big deal finally. Like the internal feeling that I think I have about myself is finally going to match my external reality. Or like when my content starts performing for me, I will feel like I'm doing the right thing. And when people start to recognize me, I will stop second guessing myself. I will stop feeling like I'm the best kept secret on social media. And you might know this, but I need to say this again to you. That is completely backwards. Everything that you're looking for to be given to you, the worth, the confidence, the validation, the approval, you have to give that to yourself first. You cannot have someone give that to you, and even if they did, it would not be accepted by you until you've given it to yourself. If you want to feel safe being seen, you have to feel safe being seen. Again, no one's going to provide that experience for you. You are actually the dictator here, which is amazing news in itself. You have to develop this internal worth of being seen before the results ever appear, because it's not going to come from the results. Your worthiness of being seen is going to come from who you are, and you have to meet yourself first in order to decide that you are worthy. The same way that you have to decide you're worthy of being healthy and losing weight before you can actually lose weight. Your results on social media are never going to outgrow your willingness to be seen. And your willingness to be seen actually can't appear for you. It can't strengthen until you understand what's actually going on when it comes to your resistance to being seen. Okay, so I told you to stay to the end because I want to do this little exercise with you for you to decide what is blocking your visibility. And I want you to sit there and I want you to ask yourself, what does truly being known on social media mean to you? Beyond the number of followers that you have, beyond the amount of engagement that you get and the recognition that you get, what does the experience of becoming well known feel like? Okay, so I want you to kind of close your eyes and go there for a minute. And as you're feeling the experience of becoming wildly known for your brilliance, okay? I'm talking about you are becoming known for your genius. You are becoming one of one. As you're feeling this, I want you to ask yourself, what feels uncomfortable about that? What is coming up for you? What's bubbling up from deep in the pits of your belly? Is it the opinions that people are going to have about you? Is it the permanence that once people know who you are, you can't take that back? Is it that you risk being publicly humiliated for saying something wrong that you never meant to say wrong? Is it the risk of potentially being misunderstood? Is it the responsibility that people will depend on you to continue to create content that they enjoy? Is it the fear that potentially you might let people down? Wherever you feel like, yeah, that's what makes me feel uncomfortable about this, that is where the work on visibility actually begins. It will have nothing to do with your content strategy. It will have nothing to do with your hooks or the way that you edit your videos. It will be in the exact spot where you feel extremely uncomfortable about being seen. This is all about your willingness to find peace with visibility. I know you want visibility. I know that you want to be seen because of everything that comes along with being seen. The freedom, the revenue, the fulfillment, the ease and the flow that you barely have to even try selling. People just want to buy from you. There's nothing wrong with craving visibility, especially if you know that you're going to take your visibility as a responsibility and do something powerful with it. But along the way, as you're taking your action, all this video is me telling you to not ignore what's taking place on the inside of you. Your reward for creating really good content is not going to be visibility. The reward is actually the mirror that you get to look into that shows you where you still have work to do when it comes to your evolution. And it's going to show you a celebration of how far you've actually come. And that's fun. And it honestly starts with what I call icon identity, where some of you are probably watching this and you're thinking like, I don't even know if I want visibility at all. And I'm not here to convince you that you do want that. I don't think everybody does want that. But if there's an inkling of you where you're like, oh, I would love to be seen, but then the moment that you feel that, you have some sort of contraction inside of you that says like, yeah, but I don't think it's for me. Like, I don't think I can do that. Then we need to work on your icon identity. And we do that inside of the Evolution Content Membership, where it starts with you actually believing that it is safe and it is amazing for you to be seen, that your yearning, your desire for visibility and the right kind of attention is not shameful. You yearn for that. You crave that for a reason because you want to do something with it. You want to change the world. And that's no small desire. And just with no small desire comes a lot of work, a lot of trials, a lot of tribulation. But this is all just a giant test of how much can you learn about yourself. And learning more about yourself requires bravery. Seeing yourself for who you actually are, looking inward, having personal conversations, and seeing yourself first is what this takes. Your audience is going to see you at the level to which you are willing to see yourself. And that is a journey. I would love to know what you got from listening to this video. If you got anything, I would love to hear from you in the comments. And when you are ready to be visible AF, I'm your girl. Have the best day ever. Mwah.